Maidstone last December. His brother Bill Treby, Bill's wife Charity and their sons Billy and George deny all of the charges. Our reporter Bryony Mackenzie joins us live from Maidstone Crown Court. And Bryony, this has been a long and complex trial, hasn't it?
Absolutely, Polly. This trial is now into its 10th week and it's involved 45 witnesses, some of them people that lived on the street in Tovel near here, Maidstone, where the incident happened last December, and also other members of the Treby family and their partners who have given evidence. The judge finished summing up today. That was after 2.5 days, and watching today and also the members of the family of some of the defendants as well.
And Bryony, has the court heard what was behind the alleged family feud?
Well, it may never be known what the exact cause was, but what was mentioned in court is a dispute.
29-year-old mortgage broker Christopher Farrell is accused of 4 counts of fraud by false representation.
On the eve of the crucial Commons vote on tuition fees, David Cameron has been trying to win round the doubters on his own government benches and on the streets.
As students were out campaigning across the country again today, the Prime Minister told them the rise in fees would be fair. In a moment, the Lib Dem leader Nick Clegg on his regrets over tuition fees. But first, Emily Morgan has this report. Demands of modern medicine. The Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust says that conditions will improve when the new Pembury Hospital opens next year.
97 people have been arrested after a series of police raids across Kent and Essex. Officers from the county's Joint Serious Crime Directorate targeted people suspected of crimes including drug dealing, burglary and car theft.
And the renowned singer Nick Cave has escaped unhurt after his car collided with a speed camera and the roadside barrier in the Sussex town of Hove. The incident happened last night as the musician drove his Jaguar. Nobody was arrested, but Sussex police say that their inquiries are continuing.
The Liberal Democrat Minister and Lewis MP Norman Baker will vote to increase university tuition fees tomorrow, even though he signed a pledge against the move.
In the Sussex town of Hove, the incident happened last night as the musician drove his Jaguar. Nobody was arrested, but Sussex police say that their inquiries are continuing.
The Liberal Democrat Minister and Lewis MP Norman Baker will...
In
the constituency, lots of student population there, and they did, as you say, sign a pledge before the election to say they wouldn't support an increase in tuition fees. Obviously, there have been lots of meetings over the past few days, and Norman Baker, who'd said at the weekend that he had 3 options, either to abstain on this issue, to vote for it, or that after a private meeting.
I'm been sort of realised. Do you think, you know,
still look manly. It's a good question. He wants to look manly.
He does indeed. And Paul, I'm telling you what, it's a good question because... Wannabe.
And what does the boy do?
The boy... Full stop. There's the full stop.
Yes.
Don't get that extra bit like you're revving up a motorbike. Whoop.
That's very good advice for Paul. Still manly, but beautiful. Yeah.
In a romantic way.
Okay.
Paul.
Okay, he's going to be delighted.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, and then we've got a letter from DP1992.
Oh.
Not sure that's what they were christened. Len, in the Jive and Charleston, I struggle with the leg flicks and kicks. They either feel flimsy, clumsy, and understated, or I lose balance. How can this be helped? Please help.
A flick comes from the knee.
Yes.
A kick comes from the hip. So that's the first difference between a flick and a kick. And mostly during the Jive and Charleston, you get this flicking action from the knee.
Yeah.
The first thing you have to get the cast. So it's got to be...
Stiff.
It's got to be in one piece. This has got to be in one piece. No softness through this.
Yes.
That. So we could stand up and maybe just try to do a few little flicks.
Why wouldn't we? Why?
We're here.
Yes.
Now, we just hold hands. Now, start with this right foot and just flick it. Look, don't flap it. Flick it.
Yeah, but I got tassels.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's nice.
The Brazilian Amazon has dropped by 14%, and that is the biggest drop in 1 year since they've been recording these numbers since 1988. Now, that's the good news, but the bad news is, and this is what the Brazilian government doesn't want you to know, is the way they collect that data is with satellite imagery, and the people that cut the square kilometers out of the forest that are just below one. Because the satellite image cannot pick up any deforestation that's smaller than a 1 kilometer square. So you follow me there? So essentially what the satellite image picks up is just the massive deforestation by 14%. Deforestation going on that's not picked up in these numbers.
Gabriel Elizondo reporting. Thanks, Gabe. Now, people all around the world are being urged to help save the planet and go green, but for parts of the UK, that's easier said than done. Felicity Barr joins us again with more on that. Felicity.
Yes, Shihab, like many countries, people here are being told to step away from burning coal, oil or gas and choose alternatives like solar power. But what happens when you live in a country where, quite simply, the sun doesn't shine that much at all? Tim Friend has been to find out in southern England.
as well as old ones. Generally, I